This is a detail we did a few months ago. It was on ES350 and I believe it was around $400 for the services. It was a full interior cleaning, a premium wash, and an engine cleaning. And in today's video, I'm gonna give you 5 tips when you're a mobile detailer and you're going out to the customer's location. Number 1 is plan the route, meaning if you're booking the customer at 1 p.m. and you check your map to see how far they are, if you're checking at 1 p.m. when there's no traffic, it might say it's 20 minutes. But if the job is scheduled for 9 a.m. and let's just say in your area there's traffic at 9 a.m., well, in the morning, it might actually be like a 30, 35, 40-minute commute instead of a 15, 20-minute commute when you check. So make sure you're accounting for when you're actually gonna be driving to that customer's location. So like for us, we might book a customer at 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 6 p.m., and we can't go based off what we're looking at on the maps that very moment. We have to think about what time we'll actually be driving and what route we're gonna take, because around here is some highways, some feeders are just always in construction, or that the exits are terrible, or whatever the case may be. But make sure you're looking at the route and you're seeing, okay, what time are we gonna go and how much traffic, and then in that route, is there usually some kind of construction, or just is there always traffic because someone's always getting an accident on that specific highway. So make sure you're planning the routes before you actually leave. Number 2 is confirm the appointment before you head out. So for us, let's say the appointment is on a Friday. We'll confirm the customer's appointment on Wednesday or Thursday. That way there's plenty of time for us to know that, hey, yeah, we're on to go for Friday. What you don't want to do is you don't want to, like, if you book the customer on Monday, you don't want to have no communication until the day of, because you want to know if something happened before the actual date. So whether it's the day before, 2 days before, or even just a last checkup is the day of, the morning of, confirm with the customer and see if they're still on for that date. Again, for us, we're gonna send an email 3 days before the appointment and a text message 2 days before the appointment. These appointment reminders are automated through Jobber. If you want to get a free 14-day trial plus 20% off your first 6 months, click the link down below. And then if they don't confirm the appointments 3 days or 2 days before, we'll manually call to confirm. But you have to have some form of appointment confirmation. You can't book them 3 days, 5 days ahead, a week ahead, and just like assume that they're going to be there. Number 3 is go prepared for the weather. Look, if there's one thing that shouldn't happen is you shouldn't get out to the job sites, whether it's the morning, midday, evening, and be like, whoa, I didn't think it was gonna be cold today. Or, whoa, it's pretty hot, I should have brought more water. Like, you are fully in control of looking at the weather before you leave, seeing at what time it's gonna be the coldest, hottest, or rain, whatever the case may be. And you can prepare properly, or properly prepare, right? So if it's in the springtime, summertime, right, and it's hot, okay, Bring extra shirts, bring extra socks, bring extra hydration, water. Make sure you have like electrolyte packets. Make sure you bring Gatorades. Make sure you bring snacks. If it's wintertime, make sure that you're bringing extra sweater, socks, a jacket. You have a beanie on, gloves. You have warm water in your bucket. Like, be proactive with the weather. It's just crazy to think that you don't just want to check your phone and see where the weather's gonna be at. Like, it's a pretty big deal to be comfortable. And if you're going thinking, hey, well, I didn't think it was gonna be cold today, and you're out there in whatever degree weather, and like you are not wearing the proper attire. I mean, and don't think about it as just this one day, right? Like, think about it for your longevity. Like, one day it's not gonna kill you. Well, hopefully it doesn't kill you. But if you do this day in, day out, and you're not checking the weather, and there's a day you're not hydrated, there's a day that you're sunburned, there's a day that it's cold, it's like, compound that month after month, and you're just taking a bigger toll on your body just because you didn't prepare. So make sure you're going with the proper attire. This is very specific towards where you actually live. So take that into account. Are you in the winter season? Are you in spring? Are you in summer? Are you in fall? Is it, is it gonna rain today? How much? At what time? What area? Like, be proactive with the weather and make sure you're properly prepping to handle that weather. So for us, there's always a cooler in the van, and now that we're moving into spring and summer, there's always gonna be water, there's always gonna be Gatorade. We purchased a hydro flask for everyone to fill it up before they leave the shop. Fill it up all the way with water. That way you have like water with you at all times, and if you need to go and get extra water or extra Gatorade, like, you can get it, but like, equip yourself with the right tools to manage the weather. Number 4, it's kind of piggybacking on the previous one, but you need to account for the weather. Meaning, in your head, when you get out to the field, you're thinking, all right, from start to finish, I'm going straight at it. Like, I'm not slowing down. We're gonna knock these cars out. I'm gonna hammer the schedule. We're gonna be done by 4 or 5 o'clock. Now, we all wanna hustle and bustle and get through it as fast as we can. But what you have to account for is the actual toll that the weather's gonna have and how it's actually gonna slow you down, right? And as much as you wanna keep on going 100% the full day, if you have a packed out schedule and you're in the heat and it's hitting 100, 102, 105, if it's humid outside, like, it will slowly slow you down as the detail progresses. So what I mean by that is, if you have 2-3 jobs on the schedule, right? The first one, you're probably gonna knock out pretty strong. Once you get to the second one, towards the tail end of the second one, it's like, okay, well, as a whole, whether it's you or you have a team, the energy is gonna, and the tempo is gonna slow down a little bit, right? If you pass by lunch or something and you eat and you have one more job at 2 p.m., you kind of have to, okay, we're gonna be kind of slow for the first like hour or so because we just ate, we're kind of full, we're tired, the sun's beating down on us, and maybe like the last hour we'll gain some energy to like try to hurry up and knock it out. Now again, this is gonna look different for every single person, right? Whether it's winter, summer, whether you have a team, not team, how many jobs you have, but you have to be realistic with yourself and say, okay, if I want to schedule 3 jobs for whatever this Friday. Okay, so I know that whatever, and it's like you just want to manage your energy so you know you can get to these jobs on time. Because what you don't want to happen is say, all right, bro, I'm gonna knock out every car in 3 hours, no questions asked. It's gonna happen. And then the first one, okay, you do good. The second one, okay, this heat's kind of heating right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting kind of hot, and it slows you down a little bit. Okay, so now you leave 30 minutes after the appointment was supposed to be done. And then you quickly pass by lunch and you're still kind of drained, and then you start the other one and the heat's hitting you even more now. And now you're starting slow and you're sluggish, and it's like now what you thought was gonna be done at 4 o'clock, you're done at 5:30, and your day's kind of gone because you kept on slowing down. So it's more about just being realistic and managing your energy appropriately. Because again, we want to work like dogs, but look, like you're gonna slow down. It's gonna happen. The weather is gonna slow you down. And same thing, if like, hey, is it gonna rain? Is it really cold? Can you start your day later, earlier? Like you gotta be proactive. You have to be proactive because the weather, mobile detailing, being out in the elements plays a big factor in how you're able to run your operations. Number 5 is make adjustments to the detail process if you need to, based on, yet again, the weather. Meaning, there's been plenty of times where we're out in the field and let's say we're working on a truck, whatever car, but it's just dead in the middle of a parking lot, right? And actually, more specifically, we were working on a pretty large truck, and a pretty large truck to where we couldn't put it, like no tent would fit over it because like it was just a lifted big truck. So with that one, it was dead in the middle of a parking lot, and it was like at 1 p.m. the sun was just beating down on the paintwork. So what we normally do is, let's say we foam it down, wash it, rinse it. But because the paint was so hot, the panels were really, really hot. And even us using DI water, it still to make a difference, because even if we did rinse it or foam it, it would just immediately evaporate from the panels. So we had to switch up our system based on how hot this vehicle was and us still trying to get through the detail, which was a paint enhancement. So sometimes, like, if the vehicle is just too hot and whatever, it's like, dude, like, we're not gonna iron remover this. We're not gonna do an iron remover process just because it's just way too hot. The panels are too hot. It's gonna instantly dry once it hits it. So let's skip that part because we're gonna do more damage and hinder the process and results than if we actually do it. And that's gonna happen a lot, right? If you wanted to do a foam, whatever, and it's like, oh, it's too cold. Okay, let me go with a rinseless wash, use warm water, and it's still gonna get great. It's still gonna get great results. Let's just switch it up because the weather is kind of dictating what we can do now. So don't be afraid. Don't think like, oh no, it has to be done this specific manner. It's like, no, it doesn't, right? Especially if it's really hot, really cold, if it's raining, snowing, whatever. Adapt to the situation and change up the process, but still get to the same end result, just different steps. But those are my 5 tips. Hopefully you learned something. Let me know in the comment section down below what you would include as a tip or something that you would think is beneficial to anyone else. If you want to check out Jobber and get a free 14-day trial plus 20% off your first 6 months, click the link down below. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one.